I suppose you look at this bike and you think, wow, Kawasaki's pulled out all the stops here. You know, it's essentially a brand new machine from the ground up. New engine, new chassis, new styling, new everything, and it looks incredible. I think. I know some of the other guys, Dave in particular, aren't too pleased with the looks, but I just think it looks smashing. It looks ninja. It looks manga. It looks really radical and different.
I've got to say, I think it being bright green probably doesn't, it accentuates the fact that it is roundy and a bit tubby looking, as we said already. But yeah, it's not for me. Like standing next to the R6, and the R6 looks sharp, and that looks like they just couldn't really be bothered designing it, and got some sort of balloons out and twist them about. Thought all that to do with paint them green and make a bike out of that.
What it's also lost is the big capacity that the old bike had. The old bike was 636cc, and this new one is a 599, so that saves Kawasaki building a separate bike for racing, but also means they're missing out on the advantage they had with that little cheat on the older bike. I mean, the old bike just had so much mid-range. You could just twist the throttle open, leave it in a high gear, and just accelerate away in traffic or on a dual carriageway. This bike you have to work a lot harder at it, and it's got a very tall first gear, and so pulling away from the lights you use lots of clutch and lots of revs again, and it's not as satisfying as the older bike with the bigger engine, I don't think.
It feels kind of just a little bit too hard work, really, especially on the road. As Al said, you have to rev the guts out of it to get it off the line, really. While doing the speed testing, it kind of felt almost like it was going to stall. It couldn't. You had to be really conscious to get the throttle and the clutch, get the motor revving basically before you let the clutch out at all. Otherwise, it just sort of went a bit boggy.
Also, it's a tiny bit big, which it is actually when you get on it. It feels bigger than the others, especially the Honda and the Yamaha. And that's good in some ways. If you're going for a longer run, you might feel a bit more comfortable on the ZX-6.
On the track, the suspension's fine. It's really good actually on track. It's not got the plushness of the Suzuki suspension, but it's good. It's well supported and certainly adequate. You can go fast on it without fear of running over bumps and losing the front, or coming out of corners and hitting a bump and it sliding sideways because it reacts so hard or anything. So. It is a good bike, and it seems like the faster you go on it, the more it kind of makes sense, really.